The sunrise over the lower Ninth Ward is a warm and beautiful one, but the sun's light reveals an ugly truth. The city is still struggling. 2 years after Katrina flooded this neighborhood, less than 10% of residents have returned. It is an eerie feeling being here. So many things are out of place. A boat that still rests on the road, the traffic light on a street with no traffic. And then there are those X's by the thousands, constant reminders of how many died.
In the next block down there, the whole family drowned.
Aloyd Edinburgh is one of the rare few who has chosen to rebuild here, just a few blocks from where a levee gave way.
Trying to survive.
Yes, he's rebuilding. No, he isn't confident the city's protected.
I don't know. So, should I worry about it? No. What's in the plans for me is going to happen, so I just gone on and started working on my house and rebuilding. Hope that I'll get in, because I plan to come out of this one feet first.
Before Katrina, there were 454,000 living in the city of New Orleans. 2 years later, that number is just 274,000, meaning almost 40% of New Orleans residents now live somewhere else. Those who haven't returned have many reasons. Some say they can't find jobs here. Others worry about safety and security. But most of the people who've moved to other cities and states say they just aren't convinced the city won't flood again the next time a hurricane hits.
Essentially, right now, we have greatly reduced the risk to the city.
Lieutenant Colonel Victor Zillner is in charge of making sure New Orleans doesn't flood again. The idea is rather simple.
What we've done here is put a gate across London Canal to prevent Lake Pontchartrain from flooding the city again. Once you put a big gate across the canal, you have to make sure the water the city is pumping out in the rainfall is not trapped behind and floods the city again. So all these big pumps are to keep the rainfall from the hurricane from flooding the city.
Whether or not it will work depends on who you talk to. For everyone who feels like the city is safe, there's a critic who says New Orleans is doomed. Federal emergency managers have been in New Orleans this month, stressing new rescue and evacuation plans will make sure things go smoother than they did during Katrina.
A lot of work's been done since then in terms of mapping out a grid for search and rescue in the city of New Orleans, training together in partnership to make sure everybody understands the appropriate role and function.
But local and state leaders warn if there is a next time, it would be better to not even wait on the federal government.
And let's make sure we're prepared even for the plans not to work as they're intended. I think you always have to have a plan B or C, and that way I think we'll be in pretty good shape.
Or at least better shape than we were 2 long years ago. Rich Matthews, The Associated Press, New Orleans.